It's time for the Dugout Crew. Brought to you by the David 3000 Network, MVG Productions, and the 25. And now, here is the Dugout Crew.
Hello, play ball and batter up. Hello, everyone. Once again, welcome to yet another episode of the Dugout Crew podcast here on the David 3000 Network. I am your host of the show, Eric Lima. How's it going, everybody? I hope everyone is having a wonderful, blessed day. It is August 15, 2024, episode 20, season 2. And Joey Acacia is not able to be here with us once again. He has to do his job, but he has work. But however, my man's back. That's right, Jesse Bandwagoner Havoc, a.k.a. Jesse Ortiz. Jesse, how's it going with you, my man?
Well, it's going good. I finally fixed that issue that was going on. So I came over here to hang out with a friend and do the podcast here so she can see how things goes.
Right. All right.
But other than that, I'm back. I'm back on track. I'm glad. The new setup didn't work. It's time for a new computer. For now on, I'm just gonna do my the podcast on a tablet, on my tablet, because it runs better.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. And guys, we got a lot to talk about. And as we know, we're we're down the home stretch, so to speak. We're in August. As we know, we're halfway through August. We got one more full month of baseball in September, and then the playoffs begin. Will your team make the playoffs? We don't know. I don't know what's going. I really don't know, honestly. But we got to get to the news that our executive producer, Mr. David St. Dennis, has sent us, because it is his channel after all. So
yes,
we got a lot of injuries. We got three major injuries. Two Ryans, actually. I don't know if they're related to Nolan or not. Twins pitcher Joe Ryan has been placed on the 15-day IL with a grade 2 teres strain that will take weeks to months. It could be the rest of the season for Mr. Joe Ryan. Dodgers pitcher River Ryan's season's over with Tommy John surgery. Ouch. Tommy John surgery. Tommy John surgery? Well, when you hear those three words, doesn't look very good for anybody, especially first place Dodgers. And the Yankees, the recently acquired outfielder Jazz Chisholm Jr., likely heading to the IL with a UCL injury, may need to have surgery.
Ouch. I saw that in the group chat the other day. I was like, oh, that's a big blow, especially for a talented player like Chisholm.
Yeah, like Chisholm. I mean, you got a talented player have an opportunity to play for a playoff caliber team in the Yankees, and then all of a sudden you're hurt and injured, and that could, and you were able to contribute to a team like that, a little bit of speed, a little speed and power in that lineup, with already a powerful lineup. When you have Anthony Rizzo, Giancarlo Stanton, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, obviously. And
that's a lot. That's a lot of all-star caliber players there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And like I said, as a Red Sox fan, I know the rivalry, the Yankees have so many caliber great players over the years that make this rivalry great. And losing Jazz Chisholm Jr., that's going to hurt the Yankees a little bit. And as they're trying to collide with the Orioles to get to top of the American League East. I know the Red Sox are in third place there. Well, let's go to the accomplishments. Orioles, speaking of the AL East, the Baltimore Orioles, first team to reach 70 wins. Orioles, they got a lot of young players who are very, very hungry. I mean, Brandon Hyde's done a wonderful job on that team. And if I were ownership, I would get him a contract extension, my personal opinion. Seattle Mariners, speaking of contract extensions, Seattle Mariners, Victor Robles extended 2 years, $9.75 million, with $9 million team option for 2027. That's It's in about 3 years, not that bad. And he may have contributed to Seattle, who's also trying to get into the playoffs. Braves' Charlie Morton has reached 2,000 career strikeouts. He's got 3,000 and some 3,500 more strikeouts to go to reach and probably break Nolan Ryan's record. We don't know if that's going to happen. Orioles Gunnar Henderson for the shortstop for the Orioles hits the 30th homer of the season. Gunnar Henderson, one of the reasons why the Orioles have been successful this season. And Yankees Aaron Judge hits his 300th career home run. Possibly the fastest of doing it, I think, or the youngest. I'm not so sure. I know it's a big deal. Aaron Judge, man, 300 career home runs. That's, like I said, Aaron Judge, come on, the guy's like 6'7", built like a professional wrestler, for goodness sakes, and crushing the ballpark. I don't know. Him, Braun Strowman, Damian Priest in a home run derby contest. I don't know. Anyways, neither here nor there. Let's go to transactions call-up updates. Orioles signed Gene Segura from the Marlins to a minor league deal. That could help the Orioles again. Minor league deal, you call him up, man, he could contribute to the Orioles. And the Giants have optioned Camilo Duvall to Triple-A. And the Dodgers activated outfielder Mookie Betts from the injured list. And it says here he will play right field upon return. That was his. I'll tell you, Mookie Betts has been all over the place. He was a shortstop originally, I think, when he was drafted by Boston, went to second base. And then I think when Pedroia was in that position at the time, he went to right field, and that's what's helped him out so far. So and ever since he was with the Dodgers, they got him back to those infield positions. Excuse me, I might have to get a drink soon. The Rays have called up the Major League Baseball's number 2 prospect, Junior Caminero. The Rays have been struggling for quite a while. They had some great quality players. I think some of them going to other teams and all that, and that's probably the reason why the Rays are struggling. And Junior Caminero getting called up. I heard he's a great player. And Eddie Rosario signed a minor league deal with the Mets. That could help the Mets out big time. I heard Rosario's pretty good. Let's go with the White Sox first before I want to get to the meat and potatoes of the news here. The White Sox have been officially eliminated from the AL Central Division title contention. Duh. Gee, I wonder why. Look at their record. I'll talk about that. I mean, seriously. It got to the point where the White Sox fired manager Pedro Grifol, and guess who's been their interim manager? Former Red Sox, former Cleveland Indians outfielder Grady Sizemore is named the interim manager.
Oh, wow. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Grady Sizemore. All right. Oh, and Anthony Hardy, Captain's Royal 1986. How you doing, Anthony? How you doing? I was like, yeah, Grady Sizemore. All right, Grady Sizemore. He's going to be the interim manager of the White Sox. He better learn how to argue with umpires. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, the big news coming out for the Red Sox, Jarren Duran has been suspended 2 games by the Red Sox for using a homophobic slur. I want to talk a little bit about that. Now, for those of you who do not know, it was Sunday's game against the Houston Astros, and I believe Jarren Duran was kind of struggling at the plate, and somebody said something along the lines of, you need a tennis racket to hit the ball. And basically, Jarren Duran says, I'm going to abbreviate this for just a second. Shut the F up, you F it. Now, how would I handle that situation? If I was in Jarren Duran's shoes, okay, how would I handle that situation? I would tell the umpire, time out for just a second, and ask the umpire to come with me and talk to the fan. Basically said, hey, I know I'm struggling. I know I'm struggling. If you, I don't want to have you ejected from. I do not want you ejected from the game. I'm not LeBron James. Just keep your mouth shut and enjoy the game. Or I would challenge him and say, would you like to give him my baseball bat and go, would you like to come up and play against a guy who could throw 90 miles per hour fastballs? And he says, no. He said, please keep your mouth shut. Let me do this. I know I'm struggling. I'll handle it and enjoy the game. That's what Holly would say. He didn't have to worry about swearing and all that. It's the way that's the way I would handle it, without any name calling or anything like that. Because back in the day, for me, when I grew up in the 80s, before we had all this culture craziness that we have here going on,
yeah,
that F word, the racial slur, the N word, And the social slur, the R word. I'm not gonna. You're probably gonna know which words I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
To me, when I was taught they were swear words, never the same
Yeah.
at all. They were swear words, never the same. They were considered swear words, in my opinion. I don't utter them. I don't even want to say them. I don't care what the culture was back then. I don't say them, period, regardless.
Yeah,
Those,
those are like very off-colored remarks that you
yeah,
words that you could say, and today's age will get you tons of backlash
yeah,
or
exactly.
cancel.
Yeah, exactly. That's you know, but Jaron Duran did apologize, and they gave him a 2-game suspension. And a lot of people on the Red Sox, Facebook pages are all complaining about this. Say, I hope the Red Sox lose 2 games. Some say he was been suspended for more. And you're frozen, Jesse. You're frozen. There you are. Oh. So, anyways, so what I'm trying to get at.
Oh,
So yeah, what I'm trying to get at is that you don't utter those words ever, regardless of what culture you live in nowadays. I was taught don't utter those 3 words. And
yes.
even though Jaron Duran did apologize, that's probably the reason why only 2 game suspension is needed. Fans were complaining about it. I say, hey, don't worry. Sox can play Ref Snyder. He can help out and contribute to the team. What happened? Series against the Rangers. Those 2 games Duran was suspended. Boom. Red Sox won. Walk-off hit RBI by Ref Snyder. And then they won 9-4. Last night they lost because the bullpen kind of blew it. Because I thought, Red Sox had it locked up, and then the bullpen kind of, and I think key injuries and all that, wheels fell apart there. But we took the season series against the defending World Series champions. That's a big deal. So what I'm trying to say, I'm not, listen, I wasn't too worried about the Duran suspension. If it was longer and the rest of the season, I would be. But, bottom line is, Jaron Duran did apologize. Even Liam Hendricks was defending him because Liam Hendricks was an ally of the community. And and he said, and I think the bottom line is do not let anybody get to you, but sometimes they'll make you, when you're angry, you don't think. When you don't think, you say something like what Jaron Duran said. And we discussed this before we went on the show. So what do you think, Jess? What do you think? What do you think of my opinion how it's handled, and what do you think of?
There's many ways you can handle it. I was like, I would have been like, well, if I'm struggling, then that's my business, not yours. Or you're like,
Yeah,
I'd be like, well, I'm the baseball player, and you're just a fan, so
yeah,
shut up and
just enjoy the game.
watch the stroke. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Don't say anything. It's one of those. It's one of those things where oh shoot, yeah. Oh, I lost my train of thought. I was supposed to say something really cool. Yeah, Jaron Duran, he was struggling. And here you go. Yeah, he says a tennis racket. The fan mentioned tennis racket. I would say, dude, wrong sport. Do I look like Boris Becker to you? Do I look like Andre
you like
Agassi
Peter
to you?
Sampras.
Pete Sampras. There you go. Do I look like Pete Sampras to you? It's baseball, not tennis. Would you like to come and hit?
Totally different sport.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, Jaron Duran, hope he learned this lesson. Hope he keeps his head together. They're going to need him down the road. Jaron Duran's only, 27 years old? I'm only 20 years older than him, so I probably know better than he does. So he's very young. And even Liam Hendricks says, hey, listen, you say something that, sometimes you get frustrated. And he probably, what is it? But nowadays, like if people you say a homophobic slur without hey, Godfather Dom thinks he's Joe Hendry now. So how you doing, Godfather Dom? Yeah. Anyways, yeah, 4 people watching. Excellent. So yeah, that situation, we had to be careful. Sometimes we all have to be careful with our words, even if we're not directed in at anybody in that community or anything like that. we have to be, like I said, when I was a kid growing up back in the 80s, they were considered swear. I'm doing good too, Godfather Dom. We're talking about the Jaron Duran
It's
situation.
a shame that it's a shame that people not sometimes just they let the fans heckle them to the point where they just lose their cool and boom, I'm in
Yeah,
trouble.
yeah. You don't want to end up like Ron Artest. You know what I mean?
Oh, Ron Artest was a dirty player, man.
He was a
Him,
hardhead. You see what
yeah,
remember that time? Was it back in Detroit in 2004 against the Pacers? Somebody threw a cup at him and he went up on. Yeah, we don't want to. Want that.
it was him, O'Neal, and Steven Jackson.
Yeah,
They all got suspended for the season.
like for the rest of the season.
Malice at the Palace.
I think the Pacers missing out on the playoffs as a result of those players.
Yeah, they did.
And that, I think they forgetting what they're fighting for. You know what I mean? But regardless, however, we got like a Malice in the Palace. Yeah, Malice in the Palace. So we have to be very careful. Players have to be careful with their words and how they conduct themselves out in the field. Yeah, I saw the whole fighting YouTube. So did I. So, so yeah, we had Jaron Duran. Even though he's very young though, at 27, so he's got a lot to learn at that point. I'm hoping that, and remember, he's held in high regard by the Red Sox. He just received an award that very same day before the game started, a Heart and Hustle.
Ooh.
So that kind of like that kind like I said, that everything else. So it's it's crazy. You receive an award before the game starts, and all of a sudden you end up popping off at a fan, and saying the wrong thing, and like I said, Jaron Durant's got to be careful, especially this season. I mean, he's already in controversy for that shirt that he wore. This is F him, basically. I know he's trying to have that attitude, but you have to be careful with your words, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, because nowadays you could end up getting famous off of saying something dumb or off color like that. They'll come after the cancel pigs will come after you.
Yeah. The cancel culture is going to come after you and all that, and everybody's going to start whining and say, suspend him for the whole season.
Well, he's lucky he got 2 games, It could have been worse.
Yeah, it could have been worse. Well, he did apologize right afterwards. He probably realized what he just said. He did apologize, and the Red Sox talked to the league how they would go about it, and he said, well, you did apologize. It's up to you guys, and they handle it internally. And like I said, in the back of their minds too, said, hey, Rev Snyder can play a couple of games. Like I said, he played those couple of games against the Rangers. Boom, they won those 2 games. Jaron Duran comes back last night, they lose. Because the bullpen kind of blew it in the end. Our pitching's been depleted with injuries and crap like that. So, and
I noticed that, man. Like, I noticed that I don't like I actually played MLB The Show, and it has the pitching clock in the game, and I get annoyed. It's so annoying because I like to take my time. Yeah, I actually like to take my time and pitch, and it really throws off your game, at least to me.
A pitching clock once again comes into play. Unbelievable. So, yeah, another thing, Steve Kerr, you just made the list. Oh, yeah, Steve Kerr, yeah, talking about, even though despite the fact that Team USA has won a gold medal, Jason Tatum gets benched, and those 2 games to play, and it's ridiculous, So,
yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, so, well, Jesse, I know you weren't here last week, so I know you got a lot to talk about with your Houston Astros, and I know what they did to my Red Sox. So why don't you?
And the Rays, I'm shocked. I mean, a team as bad as they started, as bad as they were, they are on a 6-game winning streak right now.
Is this Houston we're talking about?
Yeah, they've swept the Sox, and I think they swept the Rays. Yeah, they did. So now we got the White Sox, and then we come back, or the Red Sox come back to Houston for the next 3 games, and then we
Mm.
take on the Orioles. And let's see where they are on the standings,
Mm.
because it's I'm shocked that a team that was as bad is still at the top of the AL West.
Mm.
The Mariners are second, and the Rangers, the defending champions, are third. So
Mm.
I'm shocked. I mean, and I know Kyle Tucker has been injured.
Mm.
Let's see. Let's check out the injury list on the Astros.
Mm.
Houston Astros officially activate important player off the injured list.
Mm.
So the Houston Astros catcher Victor Carantini is congratulated by the Houston Astros manager Joe Espada after hitting a walk-off home run against the Cleveland Guardians during the
Mm.
early in the season. The Houston Astros were struggling so much that many analysts out there were predicting they would have to become sellers ahead of the trade deadline. General Manager Dana Brown fired back, and against those thoughts constantly and consistently, despite them sitting under 500 even a few weeks ago.
Mm.
Now the Astros sit on top of the AL West and will likely be buyers as they look to bolster this roster during this all-in year.
And who would
Houston
thought?
should,
I said, who would thought
yeah,
you say Kikuchi would be helping out the Astros and putting them in first place? Who would have thought, right?
yeah.
So, what about Verlander? What's he doing?
I have no idea. I mean, I'm
Probably
looking
banging
at.
up to trying to make kids or something like that. From goodness sake, I don't
I
know.
mean, Verlander. I don't know. Verlander has. I think he's done. He's getting up there in age, and
And it's time for him to
the one
retire.
I'm looking forward to is coming back is Kyle Tucker, because I know he's been on the IL for quite some time.
And the Astros are
It's
doing well
amazing.
without, like I said, the Astros are doing well without Verlander. Let Verlander retire, man. I mean, let him enjoy his life with his supermodel wife, for goodness sakes. He's lucky to have Kate Upton as his wife. So, anything
All right,
else?
here we go.
Okay, what you got?
Kyle Tuck, Kyle Tucker close to clearing important rehab hurdle on road to return to the Astros.
Mm.
So I'm waiting on that because we need him.
Mm.
Kyle Tucker's injury has cast a cloud over the Houston Astros from the moment it happened. Initially thought to be a minor issue, Tucker has struggled to get healthy again as the effects of he's been his bone bruise has been lingering
Mm.
far longer than most thought they would. Tucker's lack of progress in rehab has gotten to the point that the Astros wouldn't commit to him returning in the month of August. However, it appears though he has finally turned a corner in his recovery, as it was reported Tucker could resume running the bases soon. Assuming he gets the all clear from the Astro medical staff, as long as that goes well, a rehab assignment could follow in short order. That's good news. So I am looking forward to hopefully Kyle Tucker coming back, because we need him
Mm.
in the playoffs, because that guy was leading the in home runs this season,
Mm. Yeah,
leading the league in home runs this season.
yeah, you need that power.
Yeah,
Jordan Alvarez, that guy can slam the ball like crazy.
him, Kyle Tucker, and at one point in time, Bregman too. But
Alex
uh,
Bregman, yeah. Jose Altuve, you got Bregman, Kyle Tucker, Jordan Alvarez. That's another. Those guys can hit the ball, and I'm going to tell you right now, that's one reason why I think they're the 4 reasons why the Astros are now in first place in the AL West.
yeah,
So the Astros have been a very impressive team ever since they moved to the American League. They've been impressive.
Yes.
I think the move to the
Two,
American move
two,
to,
two world championships.
yeah, move to the American League was the best thing for them. You give them a DH and that's it, man. Your lineup gets bolstered up. You know? So
I think we would have had 3 championships had the Astros not fallen to the Texas Rangers last year.
yeah, Battle of Texas on that one. I know. Listen, the only the only pennants they lost out on was yeah. Godfather Dom, I agree. They were so awful when they were still in the National League. The only bright spot for them at that time was Nolan Ryan. You know,
Yeah.
and then you move them over to the American League, and boom, there you go. I think we moved the Astros to the American League, while the Milwaukee Brewers go from American to National. You know, so there's that. You
Yeah,
think
I don't know you could move teams like that. That's pretty cool though, because
it was,
it benefited the Astros in the long run.
it was the Rays and the Rangers? Those are the ones. So yeah, Rays and Rangers too. They were going. Clayton Kershaw needs to retire. Could be his time. I don't know. Dodgers are doing well in first place, so Red Sox too. Yeah, Rays and Rangers, those are the ones. Yeah, Astros and the Red Sox. You know, those are 3 pennants that they lost out on. The Rangers, the Red Sox, and the Rays. So, but other than that, though, I know that the last their playoff appearance as an NL team was the World Series in 2005 when they got swept by Chicago. And then they're going to get Ozzie Gann managing the team. Yeah, Bobby Jenks is the closer and all that. You know, Roger Clemens was with Houston at the time.
Oh yeah, I remember.
So, is that for you, Houston Astros?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Then I'll talk about my Red Sox, and we'll talk about how they got swept by Houston. Like I said, 8 this past Friday, 8-4, 5-4, 10-2, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the Rangers. Like I said, when despite Jarren Duran's suspension, the Red Sox beat the Rangers 5-4 on a walkout by his replacement Rob Refsnyder. Meanwhile, 9-4 in Tuesday's game, and yesterday they lost 9-7 with Jarren Duran back in the lineup. Now, this next 4 games could be the next 7 games could be mega important for the Red Sox, because the Red Sox got the Orioles in Camden Yards, second place Baltimore Orioles, Camden Yards, 6:30 tonight, 7:05 tomorrow night, Saturday 7:05, 1:35 Sunday, and then we go back, like you mentioned, to Houston for a 3-game series Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then that's a 7-game road trip going back to, and the Red Sox do better on the road. Yeah, see it tonight for Rant and Rave, Godfather. And 7-game road trip, and then we go back home to Fenway. Sox come back home to Fenway. 3 games against the Diamondbacks, and 4 games against the Blue Jays, last place Jays. So the Red Sox, the Tigers, and to end August, you got to end August we got the Detroit Tigers, and then you got the Mets beginning, and then the last place Chicago. So end August, beginning of September, we got Detroit and New York, a 6-game road trip. One of the Blue Jays games, I believe, will be a restart, so to speak, from the suspension, because I think it rained out. And if I don't know, one of these games, possibly the 28th or something like that, and if Danny Jansen plays against the Jays in that makeup game, he would be the first player in Major League history to play for 2 teams in one game. That's going to be history. So for Danny Jansen, because Red Sox picked Danny Jansen from the Blue Jays, and if they start him in that game, because one of these Blue Jays games, I believe, will be a recontinuation from that other suspended game. And if Danny Jansen plays against the Blue Jays in that game, because Danny Jansen, last time the Red Sox Blue Jays game was suspended, Danny Jansen was playing for the Blue Jays. So if they start Danny Jansen against the Blue Jays in that makeup game, it's not makeup, but the continuation of that game, he would be the first major league player to play for both teams in one game. And that's a big deal. So, but what about the run for the Red Sox? My main concern is we might do it without Tyler O'Neill for the rest of the season. And we might do it without James Paxton for the rest of the season. But there's good news. Liam Hendricks has been throwing. He's going to start his rehab possibly soon. Tristan Casas is on a rehab assignment. He homered in Worcester. So we're going to need him in the lineup, definitely. And then it's an interesting situation because Dominic Smith's been doing well at first base and possibly a defensive replacement for Tristan Casas, maybe. So Rafael Devers, noticed in last night's game, he made a base running error, so to speak, that caused the Red Sox possibly a run. But that run counted before they got Devers out. Because Masataka Yoshida ran home. So it was a sacrifice in the RBI, but he wasn't worried about base running. He was worried about his shoulder, his right shoulder. So we'll see what happens, how they're going to approach this situation. You don't want to lose him in the lineup, especially against a team like the Baltimore Orioles. And all right, Captain's World. Anthony Henry wants to promote Game 3 of the Tiller Tournament Series Finals, honoring Game Show Temple founder Michael Tiller. Garden State Queens versus the Tallahassee Lassies on his gaming channel, Captain's Arcade. Check it out. With the Queens, Garden State leading 2-0 series 2-0 over the Tallahassee. That's going to be an interesting. Hope to see you tonight, Rent and Rave. Thank you for coming in, Anthony Hardy. And so very important series coming up against the Orioles and the Astros. And it's going to be tough without Tyler O'Neill in the lineup and without Paxton in the rotation. So we shall see. But that being said, let's check out our standings. All right. You got the Yankees at 72-50 in first place, a half game over the Orioles at 71-50. Meanwhile, the Red Sox are 63-56, 7.5 behind, 7.5 out of first place. The Rays are 59-61, 12 games out. The Blue Jays is 57-64, 14.5 out. Like I said, this series against the Orioles is very, very important. So Red Sox, if they can sweep the Orioles, they can get really closer into a wild card spot. And the Orioles will have to go on a mega losing streak for them to fall, because I don't think a 4-game sweep will be enough to overtake the Orioles for second place. They're going to have to, because if your Red Sox, let's say they sweep the Orioles 67-56, it's still not enough to overtake the Orioles for second place. So going to have to move on that. American League Central, the Guardians, 72-49, 4.5 games over the Twins at 67-53. The Royals at 66-55 with 6 games out. The Tigers, 48-63, 14.5 out. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's been reported by David St. Dennis, the White Sox are eliminated from American League Central contention. What a dismal 29-93 record with 43.5.
Damn. That's bad.
That's really bad. And for Joey Acacia, Oakland's doing a lot better than that. And American League, Houston Astros, Mr. Jesse, at 65-55 first place, by 2.5 games over the Seattle Mariners at 63-58. The Rangers, as defending World Series champs, 56-65, 9.5 out. The Angels at 52-69, 13.5 out. And the Oakland Athletics, even though they're in last place, they're doing a lot better than Chicago, 51-70, with 14.5 out. So let's check the National League standings, shall we, kids? We're gonna have a little bit of fun with this one. The Philadelphia Phillies at 70-50, first place by six games over the Atlanta Braves at 64-56. The Mets in third place at 62-58, 8 games out. The Nationals 55-66, 15.5 out, and the the Miami Marlins at 45-76 with 25.5 out. I think the Marlins will be next in being eliminated from playoff contention. Meanwhile, National League Central, the Brewers at 68-52, 8.5 over the Cincinnati Reds and the Cardinals, both tied for second place at 60-61, 8.5 out. I mean, that's impressive. Cincinnati Reds, who know they'd be flying in there. The Cubs jumped out of last place finally at 59-63 with 10 games out. Now it's the Pittsburgh Pirates with that pitching, with that rookie phenom, Paul Skeens. Despite that, there's 56-64, last place, 12 games out. And then we'll go to National League West to no one's freaking surprise. The Dodgers are in first place, 71-50. 2.5, though, over Arizona Diamondbacks. They'll be visiting Fenway Park towards the end of the month at 69-53. The San Diego Padres also, in fact, no, the Padres and the Diamondbacks are tied for second place. Both teams are at 69-53 and 2 games out. The Giants 61-62, 11 games out, and the Colorado Rockies at 27 games out at 44-78. You know what I say about that? At least they ain't the White Sox. That's for sure.
True.
So we're gonna go to the wild card standings. Let's see. MLB wild card standings. And we're gonna do that right now. Come on. Pick it up. Okay. Here we are, the wild cards. Right now, the top 3 spots in the wild card go to the Orioles, the Minnesota Twins, and the Kansas City Royals. The Red Sox are 2 games out of a wild card spot. Seattle's 3 games out. Tampa Bay 6.5 out. Detroit 8 out. Toronto 9 out. Texas 10 out. The Angels 14 out. 15 out was Oakland, and forget the White Sox; they've been eliminated. 37.5 games out for a wild card spot. White Sox need a miracle, but they ain't gonna get it, unfortunately. So, meanwhile, National League right now, the Diamondbacks, Padres, and Braves have the top 3 wild card spots. The Mets are 2 out. San Francisco's 4, and Cincinnati both. There's a 3-way tie between San Fran, Cincinnati, and St. Louis for another spot in the wild card. 4.5 out. Chicago 6.5 out. 6 out. Excuse me. Pittsburgh at 8 out. Washington 9 out. Miami at 19.5 out, and Colorado 20 out. 21 out. So, interesting situations here. I'm telling you, this is, like I said, some of these series could be very, very important down the road, but key players need to return, and key injuries, it could hurt us, could hurt our teams down the road. I know the loss of O'Neill and Paxton could hurt the Red Sox down the road, but we know help's on the way. Liam Hendricks could be coming back. He was supposed to be the closer for the Red Sox if the Red Sox had traded away Kenley Jansen, but they did not do that because they didn't think Liam Hendricks was ready. But then you get Tristan Casas maybe on his way back, and he's been hitting the ball. The oblique should be all right. So, like I said, I think the Red Sox starting pitching has been depleted. Carter Crawford's been giving up gopher balls like crazy. I don't know, Jess. What do you think, man?
Well, like I said, I believe the pitching clock is not necessary. I like the game as it was. I know I'm older, but I prefer it to be the way it was.
Yeah, so do I. The pitching clock can be an annoying thing, and then, like I said, I think the pitching clock could be the reason why a lot of players have been injured, because you force them to go quick, and they're not relaxing. You're not giving them time to relax their arms and all that. And I think it's forcing, like I said, it's forcing our players to go fast. And the reason why the pitch clock's not even affected is those crybaby umpires. I'm sorry. I blame the umpires for this. Let's get the game going. Well, you got standoff in the national anthem, and there's we're going to eject them. They were having fun just doing it. They're having fun trying to play a kids game. For goodness sakes, everybody's like, "Was it no fun league?" That's what you want to call. You want to call them the new NFL, no fun league? Come on, you got
The
umpires.
NFL is the NFL's gotten boring.
It's like baseball's going to be a boring sport. Let the players have their fun.
Yes.
Let them have their fun. And then you got players like Adrian Beltre. I'm glad he retired, but when he was in the game, he had a lot of fun. He clowns around with his friends, even though they were opposite. I remember when he struck out on a curveball thrown by Felix Hernandez. Felix Hernandez was double over in laughter. So I can't wait you swung for that. Just and I remember that whole thing is moving the on deck circle, and he was doing it as a sense of humor. And the umpire ejects him from that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Guy has no sense of humor. No sense of humor. Like, these umpires, man. Let's get the game going. What happened? You afraid you're gonna burn your meatloaf? If your wife's cooking, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
It's like, seriously, these umps are babies. Big old babies. I'm sorry. Oh, we want to get home, our wives. Oh, let's make the game go faster. Let's do a pitch clock. Yeah. A lot of players get injured for that.
The game wasn't meant to go faster. The game takes roughly 2 to 3 hours to complete.
We had a minor league game back in 1981, I believe. It was the Pawtucket Red Sox versus the Rochester Red Wings. The game went 33 in the third inning. Well, the Red Sox won that game. AAA baseball game. Man, we got extra inning baseball. You big babies. Man, it's like
they've done a lot. They've done a lot. In my opinion, to destroy the game of baseball.
I blame the commissioner. He's the one that gives into these umpires and all these crybabies and all that good stuff.
With the NFL, I get it because of the CTE situation. You can't hit like the way you used to, and try to preserve the players.
Hey, I got it's like I understand you want to preserve the players and all, but still, man, the pitch clock's not helping. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's not the NBA where you have where the player you have to score at a certain amount of time or you get a violation.
Yeah, it's not like if you violate the pitch clock, you get if you're a pitcher and you violate the pitch clock, you get a ball. Automatic ball.
Yeah, it's stupid. I remember I was trying to reach for a cord to charge up my Nintendo Switch, and so all of a sudden I get a pitch clock violation. I was like, "What the?"
Yeah,
it was annoying.
Should have paused the game though. That was as a pause button. You pause the game. There you go. Right. Oh my God.
I mean, I still can't believe they put it in the game. That's so stupid. It's annoying.
It's a game. It's a sport. It's a game. Like I said, umpires are being the biggest crybabies in Major League Baseball. It's their fault that we have a pitch clock. I blame the umpires.
Yeah.
And our commissioner Ron Manfred being dumb enough to say, okay, fine, you get a pitch clock. Now to think about robot umps. That's going to be interesting, having robot umpires next season. Imagine they're going to try it out. I think in the minor leagues they're probably doing it. Because imagine if you don't like a call, you end up like Edge. And remember that time? The anonymous Rod general manager? He's beating up on the computer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm mad at this robot ump. He's making the wrong calls. What do we do? We'll hire Edge to beat him up, beat up the robot umps. He'll beat up a machine.
Will they be accurate? That's what I want to know. Will they be accurate?
That's what I'm hoping. I think the Farmer's Almanac is a better chance of being more accurate than the robot umps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, oh my gosh. It's like, seriously, man. It's like, These umps, I'm telling you, baseball. Back in the day when I played baseball was baseball. Baseball was baseball. You know. We actually, they have some players that can move quick, and some that don't want to move at all. So it's players crack me up. Players crack me up. The game of baseball cracks me up nowadays. Is like get inside the box. You trying to, and they got arguments about it. People get ejected over it. It's like,
Yeah.
I like the challenge calls. So the challenge things, that's helpful. You know, and but sometimes you can't argue a challenge call. You can't argue balls and strikes. You can't argue a challenge call. It's like if it's already been made. Because I think George Springer got ejected from a game
Oh yeah.
over that. So yeah, I think Springer plays for them now, Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, he used to be an Astro.
Yeah, he's been Astros, one of the best. I think he's one of the reasons why the Astros won a World Series. So yeah, and now you got these great players. You got he got from the Blue Jays. Yusei Kikuchi. You
Yeah.
guys,
He has a unique, he has a unique way of pitching. That guy, that
the
Kikuchi guy.
Japanese always have a unique way of pitching. Check out Hideo Nomo.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And Hideo Nomo will arch his like a tornado type. He pitched a no hitter for the Red Sox and the Dodgers. With that windup there. Oh, and dude, let's talk about Hideki Okajima. Okay, remember him for the Red Sox? And there was one part where when he throws the ball, when he follows through, he does not look where he's pitching. And I'm like, how do you know where you're throwing the ball? But it's helped Hideki Okajima. He was a setup man to Jonathan Papelbon. Yeah, the Japanese, like I said, they have very unique ways of playing baseball.
Pitching. I was like, it took a while to get used to the. It took a while getting too used to him as a pitcher because I kept messing up because it's just the way his motion. I remember Jose Valverde was another one that was weird.
Yeah,
he had a weird release.
Yeah, so and the only thing that the pitchers with their unique way of pitching. How about these submarine sidewinders? There's some do like a regular sidewind, and the other one do a submarine style. And I'm like, what? How the heck? There was one guy that played for the Orioles and he played for the Red Sox, Chad Bradford. That dude had a windup. That dude had a wind. He did the submarine style. I'm like, it's like you can fool a hitter at any time. And the dude throws like a submarine sidewinder. You're like, what in the blazing heck was that? Are you looking him up? Chad. Yeah, Chad Bradford. That guy, he had he had a very, very unique delivery. Remember, I think Dan Quisenberry started that sidewinding, that unique delivery. But you can't be like the Mad Hungarian Al Habrowski, who throws it into the stands by accident. Wing up, there goes the ball. I thought that was funny. Anyways, I'm trying to because we got almost 10 minutes left here of the show already. Because we're doing good. A lot, like I said, baseball is a very unique sport and very unique games. A lot of unique players do a lot of unique things, unique batting stances, unique way to go. You got Nomar Garcia Parra with the gloves and all that. My father every time I watch a Red Sox game, right? My dad will sit down, watch some of it with me. Nomar comes to the plate. My dad's like, what's he doing? What is he doing? It's all that. I'm like, that's the way he does things. And he starts calling them Manny gloves. And I'm like, he goes, what's Manny gloves doing? And I'm like, He probably would. He probably would strike out before he even gets to swing the bat. If the pitch clock was, if he was still playing and the pitch clock was in existence.
Oh yeah.
He
There's another player that was unique. Jim Abbott.
Jim Abbott. Okay, now there's a unique
man
player.
with only
No right hand. No right hand at all. And for him, the pitch and he learned how to pitch lefty. I forget why he lost his right hand, but I know Jim Abbott. And he pitched a no-hitter for the Yankees, which is really amazing feat too for a guy with no right hand.
How he was able to wear his glove was just unique in itself.
Yeah, and he was like the top 10, one of the top 10 prospects according to Baseball America back in the 90s. You got so many players with so many unique ways and unique, like Phil Plantier. When he played for the Red Sox, he was the one that inspired me to bat left-handed. Okay, he's got the crouch. It's like I think Jerry Remy called it a toilet seat stance at one point because he crouches all the way down like this. And I don't know how he hit 33 home runs for Pawtucket off that stance. It blows my mind. Phil Plantier.
Same with Jeff Bagwell's stance. He had a weird stance.
Jeff Bagwell. Talk about it. You go low down here, and the guy hits home runs like crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of stances. Jose Canseco with the wide stance. I seen Jose Canseco play when he was for Oakland, and he played for the Red Sox. I cannot believe how Jose Canseco still played for the Red Sox.
Speaking of Jose Canseco, Tammy Frank released a video of him and JDF sparring. Him and Jason David Frank, and he was wailing on Jose Canseco.
Wait.
Hilarious.
Jose Canseco, and this is JDF before he passed away, right? Before he died?
That was a long time ago, but man, JDF was
Canseco and Jason David Frank. Who would win that fight?
Yeah, they were training. I guess that he was trying to learn some martial arts from him, and he was, I guess, taking advantage of JDF, and JDF started, whacking him. It's funny.
Oh, Jose Canseco, what's he thinking? He was up against a Power Ranger, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, Jason David Frank was over
Timbuktu, for goodness sakes. Man, I'm telling you, Jose Canseco must be crazy.
That guy was huge, though, man. Jose Canseco, that guy was
the guy was 6'5".
Damn.
Yeah.
Beast at one time, and then wasn't he the one that snitched on all the players for the?
I think so. He wrote a book about it too, I believe.
Yeah, he snitched on everybody.
Yeah, he started a whole.
That guy was.
He started a whole thing, and Duke can launch a home run like nothing, though.
Yeah.
Against the Blue Jays, he crunched one right in the upper deck. I'm like, holy mackerel.
Okay.
So that was Jose Canseco. What a guy. He's like, let's see. Yeah, we had baseball was a very unique sport. I'm glad I follow you. Very unique players, And then you got the most unique skit in baseball history, and it's in the Hall of Fame. And that would be the Who's On First by Abbott and Costello. That routine, man, let me tell you. It's one of those crazy things, man. So, baseball is a unique sport, bringing out unique players. And, I'll tell you one thing. I'll go back to Phil Plantier for a second. Did you know that I used to be a primarily right-handed hitter until I started watching Phil Plantier. And I started practicing batting left-handed. And one time went camping with my family. And my dad says, I'll pitch a few to you. I started batting left-handed. I started hitting, and I hit the ball so hard with my lefty. I said, I think I found something here. So I started becoming a switch hitter, batting from one side, each side.
Lance Berkman was a switch hitter.
Huh?
Lance Berkman was a switch hitter.
And then somebody was a switch hitter, and I forgot who it was. I think it was Mookie Betts, I think. No, I don't know if it's him. Somebody was a switch hitter and decided to bat primarily right-handed. I gotta look that up and find out who was a switch hitter. I'll do that when the show's over. Because I forget, it was someone on the Red Sox, I think, that used to be a switch hitter and decided to bat primarily right-handed. I forget who it was. You know what? Heck, why not? Switch hitting player. Let me switch here. So player. Let me see, player. Jesus, switch hitter. I forget who. Yeah. Well, I tried. I'm not gonna. All I know is, some players will be switch hitters. We don't see a lot of switch hitters anymore.
Yeah.
You don't see a whole lot of switch hitters anymore, which is very, very unique. That's the crazy part. Because you're a switch hitter, if you're going up against a lefty, you bat righty, and if you're going against a righty, you bat lefty. So you can't switch during an at bat, though. That's kind of sucks, because that wouldn't. Like each count was like, okay, 1-0 count. Okay, give me a helmet, give me a different helmet, and all that good stuff. And so, we got 3 minutes left of the show. Like I said, guys, baseball is a very unique sport, and people say it's boring. There's one young lady, when the Red Sox won on a walk-off, this young lady has a shirt, was showing off because baseball is not boring. And that went viral. So basically, baseball is a unique sport. You should try. You should try it out if you can. If it's not your thing, that's not your thing. Me and Jesse love baseball. We like it. And so I grew up, watching the Red Sox. Grew up playing, baseball. We can make up our own video game baseball. We make up our own players. Anthony Hardy does that. Make up our own players. Put them in the video game and just have fun with it. And like I say, you got many different stances. A lot. We can emulate most of our players. But when I was a kid, we used to emulate their stances and all.
Yeah, me too. I would emulate Jeff Bagwell because it was a unique stance.
Yeah, there was another guy that used to bat like Oscar Zokar for the Yankees. He does it way down low like that too. That was another guy. We emulate players from other teams, emulate players from the Red Sox. Like Phil Plantier was easy to emulate. Kevin Moss for the Yankees. He almost had that same stance like Plantier, but he does it like he just crouches a little bit. He doesn't but basically bends his knees together and all. But anyways, I love it. Like I said, bottom line, Jaron Duran, be careful with your words, man. In fact, all major league players should be careful with your words.
Yes.
And don't let the fans get to you. If they're cheering for you, say thank you. And if they're getting at you, I would say, don't worry, I got this. Even if I strike out, I'll get it the next game. Don't worry. People worry too much, man. People worry too much. To get upset. Oh, I hope the Red Sox lose. No, we'd be fine. Next man up, Rev Schneider. So that is it for that is it. We're down to it now. 30 seconds left. So that is it for today's episode of the Dugout Crew Podcast. I want to thank Mr. Jesse Ortiz, aka Jesse Bandwagoner Havoc, for coming in to give us insight about his surging Houston Astros. And thank you for having us on your computer screen or television screen, because sometimes people watch this on their smart TVs. You can do that. Thank you for tuning in. And like I said, Rant and Rave tonight on the Brandon Martin channel. If you guys want to check us out there, please do so. And I'll be co-hosting along with my good friends Brandon Martin, Jody Scout, or whoever comes in to host. Again, thank you very much. And we got to go. This concludes another episode of the Dugout Crew Podcast for Season 2, Episode number 20. And Until then, hope your life gets you. Hope you hit a home run in life. See ya. Goodbye for now.